So here I'm letting the lentils come to a boil. Those will cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, then they'll be ready for the Ezekiel bread. And I've already prepared the black beans. I just took a whole bag of black beans and let them boil for about 2 hours. Okay, so I tried to process the millet with my food processor just like I did the barley, but it did not process even after going through, so I'm going to have to take out this grain grinder and do that. So I've turned on the machine and I'm just adding the millet here to the top of the mill grinder, and directly underneath it, it is milling it into fine powder, into a flour. And there it is, we have finely ground millet flour. While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and grind up these wheat berries as well. These are hard red, 100% organic wheat berries from Thousand Springs Mill. And I'm just gonna actually go ahead and do the whole bag of these. And that's making a great flour. So here's my mixture for the Ezekiel bread. I've added 1/2 cup of cooked beans, 1/4 cup of cooked lentils, and then I fresh milled 1 cup of wheat flour along with 1/2 cup of millet flour. Added the 1 teaspoon of salt to the milled flour mixtures. And then to that I added 1 cup of spelt flour, 1 cup of barley flour, and then finally the yeast mixture, which is 1.5 cups of warm water with 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast dissolved, and fed that with 2 tablespoons of honey. The last ingredient was 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So now all of this is in here and it's going to go. Now the dough is finished mixing, kneading, and doing some rises, but I'm going to put it over into this container here that I've gone ahead and oiled and let it get one more rise in. The dough is very moist and has kind of a loose consistency, so we're going to see how this bakes up. So as you can see, this is a very fibrous bread. You can see the black beans and the barley in there, so we're just going to let it rise, give it a bake, and see how it turns out. All right, I've left this to rise for about an hour, so let's take a look. And it did get some rise on it. Let me come here and show you a little bit. Just a little bit of a rise. So we're gonna bake this at 350 for about 45 minutes and see how it turns out. Well, the bread came out nice and clean, so let's slice it. All right, so let's slice it and see how it looks on the inside. Ooh, nice and moist. Now it's ready and all sliced up. It really reminds me of an artisan bread or a beer bread. It has a heavier, denser texture that comes from just the ingredients that are in it. So it's not going to be your light, fluffy, white sort of bread.